This is an actual training from our Las Vegas mastermind event for our playing clientele within the mastermind. We have our next event coming up, which is in November in Dubai on the Palm, which is the 9th and 10th, Friday and Saturday. If you want the secrets to blow up your fitness business, we are going to be teaching you some bombshell stuff, in particular how to double your business over Black Friday alone. So hit the link below this video. You can get tickets now for the event. We have a maximum sit-in of 10 people who can sit in the room. Now enjoy the training.
Gavin crushed it yesterday, so we tried to drag him back on again today after a pop demand. So he's got a follow-on presentation from yesterday, which I think is going to have a lot of value in terms of starting today off in the right mindset. So we'll kick off with Gavin and go from there.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for the curveball to Charlie's team. After dinner last night, they're like, hey, do you want to go again tomorrow? We'll tell Charlie. And then 10 p.m. I found out I was the first presenter today. So bear with me. I wanted to take you through the next, or another tool. So I feel like I gave you one tool in the toolbox yesterday. And that's a really overarching, that's something that I think everyone needs to be doing, becoming aware of where there may be limiting beliefs. This is going to be more of a day-to-day tool that I want to teach you and a way to upgrade the software that's running in you right now. So I want to start with a story because I always like to start with stories. Does anyone know Xander Fryer?
Yeah, really.
High impact coaching? Yeah. So I met Xander in end of 2016. We were in the same mastermind. Does anyone know John Romanello? Yeah. He's changed his message a little bit in recent years, but we were in John Romanello's mastermind before masterminds were cool in 2016, and due to a miscommunication and actually the fact that I had zero money, I actually ended up sleeping on his couch when the first day I met him. And so this is the end of 2016, and Xander and I were both in this mastermind, and we wanted the same thing. We wanted to build a bigger business and make more money. At the time, Xander had just left his corporate job. He knew that he didn't want to do that anymore. He maybe had 2 or 3 clients. He was making maybe a couple $1,000s a month. He was living on his savings. I had probably 20 personal training clients. I was making $5,000, $6,000 a month. So I was actually further ahead than he was. And so over the next 18 months, so from end of 2016 to middle of 2018, we both had the same goals. For lack of a better understanding, we had the same goals, and we had access to all the same tools and resources, right? We had the same coach, we had access to all the same things. I grew my business from 5 to 6K a month to around 8K a month. The odd month I'd hit the 6-figure run rate, never quite hit 10K a month. In that same time period, he grew from about $2,000 or $3,000 a month to $1 million run rate, $83,000 a month. Same access to tools, same goals. What happened? What happened, right? And you can say a number of things, he worked to a point where he probably did end up burning out, and he worked really, really hard at that time, probably harder than I did, but that's a big difference, and there's got to be an explanation for that. And my thought is that the explanation for that is that Xander spent those 500 plus days every single day getting better, improving himself, okay? I spent the majority of that time trying to figure out tactics and strategies and all the stuff I mentioned to you yesterday. And I did zero work on this guy. So he was doing tons of journaling. He was doing tons of the limiting belief work. He's the one who originally taught me this limiting belief work. He was doing tons of emotional awareness. What am I feeling? How is it helping me? How is it not helping me? All these things, right? What he did over that time was he raised his vibration. Okay, this is going to get a little woo-woo, but I'll explain it to you. He raised his vibration. He raised his frequency to a level that could receive $1 million. Okay, now this is a book that I recommend to everybody. Ask and it is given, and I'll reference it again later. And the quote here from the book is, the only reason you don't have what you want right now is because your vibration, your frequency, does not match the vibration of what you want, of your desires. Okay, so I wanted to make $1 million. I wanted to get to the level that he wanted to get to, but I didn't do the work to raise my vibration. And when I asked him, dude, what did you do? I asked him on a podcast years later. He said, I literally woke up every day during that time period and just tried to pursue failure. I just tried to fail as fast as I could. So it's like, what's the biggest thing that I can fuck up today? And I'm gonna go and fuck it up and learn as fast as I can. I was afraid to fail. I was afraid to make mistakes, right? I wanted to keep showing people how good I was. He was happy with learning faster, right? And that's how he got himself into this higher vibrational place. And that sets up what I want to talk to you about today. So I want to teach you the scientific research behind this so that you understand that like this is actually scientific research. It's just not very popular yet. It's becoming popular, right? Again, I'm gonna preach the gospel that this is the work that matters most. Like this is where the effort belongs, in my opinion, especially for a lot of you who have a lot of really, really good tools in place and you're in a really good place. Let's get you to a better place. I'm gonna give you the secret ingredient to raising your vibration. It's hiding in plain sight. It's right there inside of you. And then I'm gonna give you a step-by-step guide to getting everything you want. And I'll ask you again, do you guys want to get everything you want? You guys are cool with that? Okay, awesome. So if you guys have heard James Clear, Atomic Habits, he talks about the be, do, have model. I'm gonna rip through this quickly. So the first step in getting what you want is embodying the type of person that gets that. Being the type of person that gets those things. So I don't know how many of you know Ed Milet. Ed Milet has in my opinion, a great explanation of what he feels heaven and hell is. So he is a faithful man. So he talks about God. It can be anybody, any being that you want. But he says when he dies, he believes that God will introduce him to the best version of himself. God will introduce him to the version of himself that God saw. And heaven is being twins with that person, being best friends with that person. You'd go for a beer, go for a coffee with that person. Hell is not knowing them at all, being complete strangers. So this aligns with how can we step into and embody that best version of ourselves every single day so that we move closer to it every day. And I mentioned this to you guys yesterday. I'll believe it when I see it. Corby had mentioned a cold streak on sales. Was it Corby who mentioned it yesterday? I had like another one of those like cold streak to end all cold streaks. And the way that I broke it was I just decided like I'm sick and tired of this. I'm just going to decide to believe in myself and what I'm offering. And I'm going to decide that if this person on the other end of the phone, if I can help them, I'm not letting them off the phone. Like I'm just going to serve them until they buy. And when I told my coach this, he's like, the believe it when I see it is wrong. I'll see it once I believe it. And this is the paradox of us as entrepreneurs. We have to believe in things when we have zero evidence of them being true sometimes, right? We have to believe in it. That's what faith is. That's what trust is, right? So can I step into this person? Can I embody this best version of myself, trusting and having faith that is going to get me to the place that I want to go? Or at least it's going to move me in the right direction, right? So if we're stepping into and embodying that person, then it comes to acting as if. So the do, okay? Doing the things that type of person would do. Who's heard of WWJD? What would Jesus do? Yeah? So my preferred version is, what would Ted Lasso do? I don't know if there's Ted Lasso fans in here. Okay. Oh, that got a better laugh than last time. That's good. What would Ted Lasso do, right? Who is the type of person you want to embody, and how can you do the things that they would do on a regular basis, right? How can you act as if before you have the thing? And every single action that you take, every single decision you make, you're either casting a vote for the best version of yourself, in alignment with the best version of yourself, or against that best version of yourself. And the job is, over a long period of time, if we can cast more votes into the best version of ourselves, that's when we're going to start living in alignment with that person. That's when we're going to start truly becoming that person. Does that make sense? So we just want to, this is why this process is so frustrating and takes so long for a lot of people, and why a lot of people stop, because it's just a matter of time. Like I talked to you about yesterday about proof and evidence. You have to build a stack of proof. You have to build a stack of votes in the right direction, and it just takes time. You can't do that in 1 day or 1 week or even a month. It takes time. Okay? And when you do these things, that's when you will have what you want to have. But I want to give you guys an alternate version of have here, right? So James Clear's model is be the type of person, right? Embody that person, do the things, and then you will have what you want. I want to give you an alternate version. You guys know I was a goalie. If you were here yesterday, you saw the dark side of that, me getting my ass kicked. I had this really bad habit of looking at the scoreboard and letting that dictate the way that I played. So if we were winning, pressure was off, I was way better, I could just chill, I could just play, right? If we were losing, if it was a tight game, or maybe if the scoreboard didn't look good or the shots on goal didn't look good, I would like start to put all this pressure on myself, right? And the same thing was happening in business, and I had a coach again say to me, like, when I was complaining about some leads or something like that, right? He said, you got to stop looking at the scoreboard. Just play the game. Play the game and let the score take care of itself. And this allowed me to let go of those things and just play the game and just show up as my best self and play the game. And that's what I feel the have is, because you have to have faith. Like, you have to trust that embodying the person and doing the things that that person would do is going to lead to the outcomes you want. You don't have control of those outcomes. And so many of us as high performers, we desperately try and cling to control of those outcomes. As soon as we let go of control, that's when they come. That's when they start showing up for us. So you have to have this level of faith. That's what all this work relies on, faith. That if you stop looking at the scoreboard and play the game, and you play the game the right way, that the score is going to take care of itself for you. And you don't have control of that, okay? So let's talk a little bit about quantum energy, quantum physics, quantum mechanics. Who's heard of this type of work before? A little bit? Okay. So this has been popularized by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Great book. Trevor swears by it. He will give you the lowdown. Asking It Is Given, that's the book that I would suggest everybody take a look at. And what these have popularized is this scientific study that's been around for a long time around quantum mechanics, okay? And the basis of it is that our internal, the mind, and external matter are so intertwined that they're actually indistinguishable, okay? This all came about from something called the observer effect. And what happened was, and don't ask me how they did this study, I don't know. But you probably learned what I learned, that like atoms, it's like a planet going around the sun. They have the nucleus and then it goes like this. You guys learned that? You know what I'm talking about? That's about as far as I can take that. Well, that's what they expected too. So that's how the atom was behaving, okay? They looked, the researcher looked into the microscope and it changed, the atoms changed their behavior. Looked away, they changed their behavior back. So what the researcher's mind was affecting the way the atoms were behaving. Okay, so what does this mean for us? This is that observer effect. This means that the way we think affects our external circumstances. What's going on in here directly affects what's going on out here. Okay, the way I'm thinking, we're all having a different experience of what's happening right now because the way I'm thinking affects what's happening outside of me. Okay, and the way I show up affects the way that you guys see me. Okay, so that's what quantum energy is at its base, at its core, and it's again, if you listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza, he'll talk about this all the time. So the way that you show up, your vibration, your level of foundational frequency drastically affects what happens outside of you in your circumstances, okay? And the best way that I've heard this explained is this. So if everything is energy, then your vibration or your frequency is like the frequency of a radio station, right? And if you wanted to listen to 101.5 FM, you wouldn't tune it to 87.9. So your job is to tune yourself into the radio station you want to hear. You want to hear the radio station that is 7 figures, you've got to tune yourself into that radio station, right? You've got to tune yourself into that frequency and that vibration. So how do we change our vibration? I told you that this was right in front of you. This was inside of you. Your emotions are your most sophisticated interpreter of your vibration and the vibrations around. Who thought we were going to talk about emotions and feelings today? Let's get into the feelings. Your feelings represent an inner guidance system. We have a GPS system built inside of us. The problem is, how many of you were told not to feel your emotions? Put those away. right? The women were told that it was too much, and the men were told that it was not macho. It was like, get rid of that. Be a man, right? All of us in the generation, it was like, get rid of that shit. Don't think about it, right? But we have a guidance system literally built in to say, do I want to go in this direction or do I want to go in this direction? And it's from what you're feeling. So I don't know if you guys have heard of Brené Brown. She has a new book called The Atlas of the Heart. And they literally researched and outlined 87 different emotions and feelings that humans can feel. How many can you name? The average human can name 3. Happy, angry, sad. That's about where I was at before I started doing this work. I was either like full of joy, or I was pissed off, or I was crying and I was trying to hide the crying because I didn't want to feel emotions, right? So if we can become more aware of what we're actually feeling, we can actually actively take steps in the right direction towards our best version of ourselves, towards the person we want to be, towards the things we want to have, right? But it comes from being aware of that and listening to that. And that's what I want to teach you with this tool. And the real win here is the most important thing you're going to do as a business owner on a daily basis is the decisions you make, particularly if you have a team relying on you, because you have to make decisions that guide a lot of other people's income as well, right? The average person makes 35,000 decisions a day. You guys make probably more because you're dealing with so many different people and so many different things happening. So imagine if you could just make one decision from a better place every day. How is that going to compound? If you can make your decisions from a better, higher vibrational, higher frequency place over a week, a month, a year, how is that going to compound? It's exponential. Like not only does it get better, but it also builds on itself. Okay? So I don't know how many of you have seen this. This is called the emotional guidance scale. We're going to use it later. But I wanted to give you a picture of how this works when it comes to frequency and vibration. Okay? So this is a really good interpretation of how this works. So you can see on this side that it's pretty easy to go from a neutral place, spiral down into this lowest vibration. So these are the lowest vibration emotions that you can be making decisions from. Fear, grief, depression, powerlessness, victim, insecurity, guilt, unworthiness. Problem is a lot of us are used to making decisions from this place. Remember I said a lot of us started our business from a place of fear. And we do need that thing chasing us, but we don't want to be making the majority of our decisions from here. Right? This is when we play victim to the algorithm, right? Or we play small because we want to be a victim to the algorithm. Or have you ever had that moment in a sales call where you know you could ask the next question, that like deeper, uncomfortable question, and you didn't? I know from experience. That door was opened by them, a crack, and you slammed it shut instead of opening it up and taking it. That's because you were afraid of what they would think of you. You were insecure, right? But if you had just asked that question, you might have allowed them to get to a place where they could make a decision, right? So these are decisions that come from this place, right? And if we can also recognize that a lot of our potential clients are making decisions from this place without even knowing it, it's going to help us on sales calls, right? On this side, we can see that it's pretty easy to spiral up from a neutral emotion as well. And we can be making decisions from a place of joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, appreciation, right? Taking the scary action, making the vulnerable post because you have the knowledge that might help somebody, right? Asking the scary question because you know that it's going to empower the client to tell their story, and you are literally coming from a place of love for yourself and for them because you want what's best for them. These are those small, seemingly small decisions, those small hinges that swing big doors. Making decisions from a better place here, making decisions more from this side than this side. And it's not always going to be decisions from here, but can we make decisions from a better place, a higher vibrational place? And I told you that I'd help you get everything you want, but I want you to recognize that getting everything you want. So why do you want to earn more money? Well, we probably want to earn more money because it makes us feel more empowered. Top of the emotional guidance scale. Why do you want a better relationship? Well, we probably want a better relationship because it helps us feel loved and appreciated. Top of the emotional guidance scale. Why do you want more time to travel? You feel freedom. You learn about knowledge about other ways other people live. Top of the emotional scale. Why do you want more time with your kids, if you have kids? Love, joy of watching them grow up. These are the top of the emotional guidance scale. So the thing you think you want isn't really what you want. You want that thing because of the way it makes you feel. Remember that when it comes to sales as well. They want the thing because of the way it makes them feel. Exactly what Luke was talking about. What's the psychological reason that they're signing up? What's the psychological reason you want to earn more money? Right? So getting everything you want, it makes you feel better. So why don't we just feel better now? You can choose to come from a higher vibrational place right now. And I'm going to show you how. This is the tool that I want to leave you with today. I named it the Daily Vibe Check because I think it sounds pretty cool. It sounds better than like an emotional check-in. No one wants to do an emotional check-in. I want to do a vibe check. So this is a practice that you can do daily. It takes like 3 minutes, okay? And it's a check-in with yourself. I like to do this proactively. So what I mean by that is I do this as a non-negotiable every morning in my journal, proactively. The reason I do that is so that I can improve at it. So when I need to do it reactively, when shit hits the fan in my life, I can come back to it. And I have a skill set built, even though I didn't need it at the time. So 3 questions. First of all, what am I feeling? We're not very good at recognizing our emotions. So I found this awesome tool online called feelingswheel.com. And I literally use it every day. Okay? So if you haven't in the past been very good at recognizing what you're feeling, this is an excellent tool. Okay? I use it every day. So what am I feeling? Name 1 to 2, 3 emotions that you're feeling. Okay? Question number 2, what does this feel like physically? Who has heard of the book, The Body Keeps the Score? Okay? The basis is that emotions are stored in the body. Okay? The other reason I feel this is a valuable thing to do is because as soon as I name the feeling that I'm feeling, so let's say I'm feeling anxious. My brain immediately wants to go to, well, why the fuck am I feeling anxious? What's going on? And then I start judging myself. Well, I shouldn't be feeling anxious. That's the wrong thing to be feeling right now. I should be feeling good. And now I've gone into a spiral of negativity. But if we can get out of the mind and into the body and just go like, what am I feeling? That's going to get us out of that conscious, logical brain and into the subconscious brain, which is what we want. Right? So what am I feeling physically? Scan your body. Am I feeling butterflies in my stomach? Is my back sore? Whatever. It doesn't matter. Just the action is the important piece, is what am I feeling in my body? You can start to recognize that when you're feeling certain emotions, the same thing starts to come up. I've started to recognize that when I'm feeling those really, really high vibrational positive emotions like gratitude and joy and love, I feel this like really powerful, full sensation in my chest. It's just like this like power rising inside of me, right? That's from reps, okay? So what am I feeling? What does it feel like physically? And then let's use the GPS system. What is this trying to teach me? So taking this and then putting it in the context of your life and what's happening right now, what is this trying to teach me? Right? Maybe it's trying to teach you that you need to get into more rooms like this. Right? Maybe it's trying to teach you that, you need to make sure that you get good sleep. That's like the basis of everything, right? Maybe it's just one little nugget that can remind you of what's important. 3 questions, takes about 3 minutes. What am I feeling? Where is it? What does it feel like physically? And what is this trying to teach me? Now, once you've done that, you can either say thank you and move on with your day because you've done some work on yourself and you're good. That is the mindfulness that I talked about yesterday. There's some mindfulness there that we did. Or if you need to, like let's say that you're in a low vibrational place. You can do what Abraham Hicks calls reaching for a better feeling thought. Remember I said that if we're thinking better thoughts and feeling better feelings, we're going to make better decisions. So do I have to reach for a better feeling thought? So some of you talked yesterday, this is always a thing. when people request refunds, right? What do you feel on here when someone sends you an email a week after the sales call and requests a refund? Where are you on here? Can someone share with me?
Insecurity. Anger.
Excellent. Insecurity and anger. That's all I needed. So we've got insecurity and anger. Okay? Let's go deep. Let's go with insecurity, okay? I'm feeling insecure that this person requested a refund. I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was. So now what I can do is I started here. I can go, let's look around here. Is there anything that maybe lands for me here? Well, actually, I'm feeling a little jealous of other people who seem to be crushing it in Charlie's group, and I'm not crushing it as much as I thought I would be. So let's keep going. Oh, I'm actually feeling, someone said anger. I'm actually feeling a little pissed off. I put in a lot of work, and then a lot of work on the onboarding. What the hell, man? I'm pissed off. And really, actually, I think I'm just a little discouraged because I really thought that I nailed that sales call, and I really thought that person needed my help, and now they're backing out. Maybe I'm actually just like a little worried that maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was. Right? I'm just a little worried about the way things are going in my business. Maybe I'm actually just a little doubtful, like, am I as good as I thought I was? And actually, I'm feeling frustrated and just impatient. Like, why is this not going as fast as it should be going, as fast as I know it can be going? Why is it not going as fast as so-and-so in the group? What the hell? And I'm just, you know what? I'm just pessimistic. Like, I'm just like, I can't see how this is going to work at this, where I'm at right now. Maybe you stop there. What did that take me? A minute? And I went from this place where the decision I'm making here when I get that email request is probably not a very nice email back to that person. I'm probably burning the shit out of that bridge, right? Well, fuck you then, right? But if I can just come from a place of pessimism, it's not up here, but it's definitely better than down here. I can go, well, I really don't like this decision, but maybe I'm sending an email back saying, hey, I can understand where you're coming from. I get it, but can we jump on a call and just maybe talk it out? Or as Corby was saying yesterday, is there somebody else in your life that may want this help? And maybe they can, you can let them know what I do, because clearly you were sold on it. It's just something happened in your life. Do you see how the exact same event, and you can, if you're coming from a different place, you can make a better decision? Just from taking 1 minute to go, I was feeling insecure. Can I reach for a better feeling thought? Can I reach for a higher vibrational place to come from when I'm making this decision? Okay? So let's vibe check together. Okay? It's going to take 3 minutes. So I'm going to turn this back to here. I know it's a little hard to see. You can go to feelingswheel.com on your phone. Write down real quick, what are you feeling? What are you feeling right now? I generally like to start on the inside and just move my way out. You don't have to go all the way out. You could say I'm feeling sad. You could say I'm feeling, bad, whatever. But I'll work my way out. You're probably somewhere in here. I'm guessing, unless some shit hit the fan yesterday. So what am I feeling? Does everyone have at least one emotion that they're feeling right now?
Exhausted.
Exhausted? Excellent. That is in here on sleepy, tired, unfocused. Probably one of those. Cool. Okay. What does that feel like in your body? Take 30 seconds, close your eyes, scan your body from head to toe. What does that feel like? Heavy? Heavy. Good. That's excellent. Gets us out of our head, right? What does it feel like in your body? Is your back sore from sitting all day? Right? Is there butterflies in your stomach? Do you feel like you're just all over the place? Does it feel heavy? Cool. I'll give you guys 10 seconds or so here. And another thing about that, I know we got a lot of high performers in here. You can't do this wrong. Right? You're probably going, well, that's not right. That's stupid. Why can't I think of it? There's a lot of laughs because you guys are like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay, just scan your body. Something will come up. If nothing comes up, that's fine too. But we're getting ourselves out of our head. Number 3, what is this trying to teach you? What can I learn from this? Again, you can't do this wrong. This is your body teaching you. You are being your own coach here. What can I learn? Within the context of everything that's going on, what can you learn? What I learned yesterday and this morning, these are my people. I need to be around these people more because I'm in the highest vibration I can be in right now. Yeah, I'm a little tired, but I'm also in a high vibration. Cool, so we have what you're feeling in your body and what it's trying to teach you. If you need to, reach for a better feeling thought. Do you need to reach for a better feeling thought? When you're done, say thank you. Thank yourself for doing the work. You just did work on yourself that is going to compound over time. You just put yourself in a better place. Okay? And I will challenge you to do this every day for the next week. It takes 3 minutes. Put it in your phone. Do it every day for the next week. Journal on it if you want to be like me, because I like to get it out of my head. And then just put a reminder in your phone next Sunday and reflect on the week. How did the week go? If it went really shitty, then don't do it anymore. That's fine. But I'm betting, like I said yesterday, I'm betting something happens this week where you go, that dude knew what he was talking about. There was something. There was something there. Okay? I'll leave you with this. So I don't know if you guys have watched Ted Lasso. If you haven't, this is not going to land. I mean, I guess it's going to land. Guys, you're going to learn a lot more today. You learned a lot yesterday. You already have everything you need inside of you to succeed. Okay? The problem right now with where you may be at is you're letting these low vibrational emotions, guilt, fear, unworthiness, cover up all these positive and incredible things you have inside of you. I, for one, there could be a lot of things that take me down, but I'm not going to let it be a lack of belief in myself. Okay, and I don't want that for you either. Don't let it be a lack of belief in yourself, because the person who has the tools you guys have and believes in themselves is dangerous, and you're going to crush it. Okay, so let me leave you with that. Trust the process and believe in yourself, and just wait to see what happens. Okay? Thanks for letting me lead it off today. Appreciate it.